Nitin Gadkari, India's Minister of Road Transport and Highways.
जो अच्छा काम करेगा उसको पुरस्कार मिलेगा और जो गंदा काम करेगा उसको सिस्टम से भगाने का काम करेंगे.
He is known for his strong stance on infrastructure and development. From his bold claim that tolls will never end,
कुछ कॉन्ट्रैक्टर ब्लैक लिस्टेड हो,
to his no-nonsense approach with the contractors, Gadkari has positioned himself as one of the India's most powerful leader. But now, with his growing influence, recent comment about BJP's uncertain future and whispers of him as a prime ministerial candidate, is Gadkari aiming for top job? In today's video, we'll explore Nitin Gadkari's race in the BJP, his controversial remark on tolls and the contractors, and his potential aspiration for prime minister's seat. Even though he's often seen as a public favorite, we'll discuss the true side of him. Despite in the public image, we'll dive into the claims that he prioritizes big corporates over the common man and how he may be positioning himself to challenge Narendra Modi. Stick around to decide for yourself if he is truly the leader India needs. Nitin Gadkari began his political journey in Maharashtra, where he quickly established a reputation as a leader who could deliver results. His work on the Mumbai-Pune Expressway was a turning point that showed his capacity for a large-scale infrastructure projects. Gadkari's ability to oversee major infrastructure projects like expanding India's national highways soon earned him a national recognition. By 2009, he was named the BJP president, becoming the youngest person to hold that position. This was just the beginning of his influence within the party. But his reputation as an effective administrator and his relatively non-polarizing public image have led many to speculate. Could Gadkari be the one who can challenge Modi for the prime ministership? His pragmatic, result-driven approach might just be what BJP needs in the post-Modi era. Because if they actually manage to get elected again, we might need someone to fix the mess they have left behind, like economic slowdown, job crisis, farmer protests, religious polarization, and a lot more. While Gadkari is pressed for transforming India's highways, the proliferation of the tolls has caused public frustration. Many argue that these tolls disproportionately affect the common people, leading to resentment towards his policies. In response to the criticism, Gadkari famously said, "If you want a good service, you have to pay for it. Toll will never end." This statement reveals his firm stance that high quality infrastructure comes at any cost. However, for many, this position reflects an alignment with the corporate interest over the concern of the ordinary citizens. The public reaction to his toll policy has been mixed. If by mixed, I mean some people are appreciating the shiny new roads, while the rest are fuming over paying the tolls for what feels like a lifetime. Sure, infrastructure improvements are great, but for those everyday commuters feeling the pinch, it's a bit like being asked to pay for your own suffering. It seems Gadkari's real challenge isn't building roads, but figuring out how to pay for public frustration with the toll receipts in hands. Gadkari's tough talk on contractor has certainly raised some eyebrows.
हम आपको छोड़ेंगे नहीं और जो गंदा काम करेंगे उनकी बैंक गारंटी जब्त करने के बाद भी उनको हम लोग ब्लैक लिस्टेड कर देंगे.
He's been quick to warn that non-performing contractors will be blacklisted, showcasing his zero-tolerance approach to delays and the inefficiency. But let's be real, give contractor a decent budget without the usual political cuts for approvals, and maybe they would actually get the job done on time. So instead of throwing contractor under the buses, perhaps it's time to ask why the delays are happening in the first place. Is Gadkari really cracking down on inefficiency or just finding a convenient scapegoat for his own party's missteps? In 2012, Gadkari found himself caught up in the controversy over his ties to the Purti Group, a company conveniently linked to him that somehow managed to land government contracts. Of course, he denied any wrongdoing, because why wouldn't he? But the whole incident raises some pretty serious question about conflict of interest. After all, when your name keeps popping up in this situation, it does tends to complicate that clean and transparent public image he's trying so hard to maintain. Gadkari has a deep ties to business sectors like sugar and infrastructure, especially Maharashtra, where he's well connected with the key players. Naturally, this has raised some eyebrows. Are his policies like toll system really for the public benefit, or are they more about keeping his corporate buddies happy? When your decision just so happen to align with the interest of big businesses, it just makes you wonder who is really getting better at the end of the deal. Within the BJP, Gadkari's pragmatic, result-oriented leadership style has gained him respect and influence. As Modi's tenure progressed, someone within the party are looking at Gadkari as a viable alternative to the current leadership. Someone who could lead more with a technocratic and less polarizing approach.
पार्टी की सरकार हो, सरकार को दूर रखो। सरकार ये विषय कन्या होती है, जिसके साथ जाती है उसको डुबाती है।
More recently, Gadkari openly expressed his reduced confidence in the BJP's chance of securing fourth consecutive term, a statement that caught many by surprise. But of course, it's hard not to see the strategic undertones here. Could this be Gadkari subtly preparing to swap in and as the savior if the party stumble? After all, positioning himself as the fresh alternative might just be the way signaling that if things go south, he is ready to offer BJP a new direction, one consecutively led by him. Gadkari's calculated public statements, along with his growing influence, suggested that he is thinking beyond his current role. Whether he is positioning himself for the prime ministerships remain to be seen. But his actions and alliance certainly hints at larger ambitions. Gadkari's supporters point to his administrative success, particularly in building India's roads and highways. They argue that his tough, no-nonsense approach to governance is exactly what India needs, and his raise within the BJP is well deserved. However, critics argue that his policies such as the toll projects favor big businesses and fail to address the need of the common people. His close ties to industries in Maharashtra and his past controversies like Purti Group scandal raises doubt about whether he can truly represent the interest of ordinary Indians. From his early days in Maharashtra politics to shaping India's infrastructure, Nitin Gadkari certainly left his mark. His firm stance on tolls, controversial comment about the contractors, and growing influence within the BJP paints the picture of the leader with a serious ambition. Whether he is eyeing the Prime Minister seat is still up in the air. But one thing is clear, his future depends heavily on where the BJP lands in the next term. For now, he remains one of the India's most influential politicians, but his trajectory will ultimately be tied to the party's fate. What do you think? Is Gadkari quietly positioning himself as a future Prime Minister? Or is his influence within the BJP being blown out of proportion? Let us know your thought in the comment below, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more deep dives into India's political landscape.